keeps moving like a rolling stone. No, no, no. All night till the break of dawn. Go on, no. My side keeps moving like a rolling stone. No. Love in the house and I'm trying. Like 1, 2, 3. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. I think I need a cup of tea. The world keeps burning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. You rush into destruction cause you don't have nothing left. The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gonna get left. Ways and lessons manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. And we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but if you rush just the same. Oh, no. My body keeps moving like a rolling stone. No. All night till the break of dawn. Go on, no. My body keeps moving like a rolling stone. No. Love in the house and I'm trying.
Salute. What's going on, Drea?
Salute. What's up?
Shit, chilling.
got some good content tonight. Some real
Yeah,
informative stuff going on.
yeah, I got the information you're gonna send me. We're gonna talk about this after we watch it. It's a part 1 and a part 2.
It's a half hour long.
This one is. But
You
it's
go.
some very interesting information. Very interesting information. Let's just check it out and we'll talk about it after this one before we start.
Can you pause it during like parts of it and we talk about parts of it like at the time, because we watch the whole thing, we might get sidetracked.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay, let's get started.
Back in the Roman Empire, it was basically stated in ancient Rome that there were only 2 things on the earth, land and water. And therefore there were 2 kinds of law to be established on this earth, the law of the land and the law of water. Brilliant. That's all there is land and water. So the law of the land, and people have heard that term, the law of the land. But you don't realize when you use the term law of the land, It's to differentiate between the law of the land as opposed to the law of the sea, the law of the ocean. That's why you use that term, law of the land, because there's another law that it dominates the earth. It's called the law of the ocean, the law of the sea. The law of the land is obviously the law of the people who live on a particular piece of land. As many countries as there are, or as many cities as there are, that's how many laws of the land there is, because the law of the land is different in South Africa than it is in America. You can do things in China you cannot do in Egypt. You can do things in America you can't do in Australia because of the law of the land. The land is where the people live, so it's the law of the custom of the people who live on that particular piece of land. They have decided for themselves what their customs will be. And when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if you're going to go to Australia, you're going to go to South Africa, you're going to go to Egypt, you better learn what they can do and what they can't do. And if you don't like it, then you go back home where you can do what you want to do. But if you're in somebody else's country, you have to abide by their custom, the law of the land. Now, there is another law called the law of the sea, the law of the ocean. That is the banking law, because you can get a credit card in America and go to China and live pretty well and go vacation. Or you can get a credit card in Africa, in South Africa, and go to China on vacation and eat very well and live very well and go on a vacation. Why? Because it doesn't have anything to do with the custom of the people. We're talking money, period. It's just money. One law of the sea, water. So we say in America, money goes through your hands like water. No, money is water. Maritime Admiralty law of England. The law of the sea is the law of banking. Banking law is referred to as the law of the sea. Therefore, let me explain to you. When a ship pulls into harbor, we may have talked about this before, but it's important, so we need to hear it again.
Let me just go ahead and get my disclaimer pulled up here. And we'll jump right back in it. All right, let's go.
When a ship pulls into a harbor, first of all, you need to understand, according to international law, all ships are female. There is no such a thing as a male ship. All ships by law are female. That's why you will hear captains say, she's a good ship, and she's been seaworthy, she's this and she's that. All captains will refer to their ship, rocket ship, sailing ship, doesn't matter what kind of airship. The captain calls his plane she. She's a good ship. She's seaworthy. Why? Because all ships by law are considered female. Reason why? Because all ships, any kind of a ship, delivers a product. And so the idea goes back into the ancient world of Sumeria, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, where the idea was the male manufactures, but the female produces the product. So therefore, we humans were manufactured, but your mother was in labor and in the delivery room because she was building a product.
And giving birth.
And giving birth to a product. Therefore, when a ship pulls into a harbor, she parks at the dock. And where she parks at the dock, she ties off a rope onto the dock to hold her in her berth. Every item coming off of that ship from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world, doesn't matter. We're talking business. We're talking banking. Any item on that ship coming off that ship must have something called a certificate of manifest, because yesterday the ship wasn't here, But today we come to work and there's a ship here from Japan or from China with $800 million worth of televisions or whatever. So it has manifested. $800 million worth of business is waiting for you at the dock. So therefore, every item coming off that ship, because it's manifested, must have what is called a certificate of manifest, meaning every piece coming out that ship has to be accounted for. How much did it weigh? What color was it? Does it have 4 doors, 2 doors? Air conditioning? No. What color? And so every item coming off the ship must have its own certificate of manifest. Why? Because it was brought in, she brought it in on water, and she is in her berth. So therefore, each item has to have what is called a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest, because she is sitting in her berth, B-E-R-T.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yep.
That's a lot already.
Yes. It's funny how it's broke down like that. You never really think about things until it's really put in your face. So basically, from the time we are from conception up until birth, we are born into the law of the sea.
The water. Yeah, the sea. Absolutely.
And we are growing after conception. We sit in the like the water breaks, and we're sitting in water. We're 95% water.
Yeah, our
So
bodies
it's
are.
kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a lot of information, but it's really good how he breaks that down. I mean, I don't know. I think what do you think about what he said so far? Look at the play on words.
Yes. Yes. And it's going to get better. I can tell already. So let's go.
A birth certificate. Therefore, when your mother gave birth to you, you came down her birth canal when her water broke. And therefore, you come out into the world as a maritime admiralty product. You came out of water down the canal. Therefore, you have to have a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest. Because last night you weren't here. This morning you're here. You manifested. So we got to know, how much did you weigh? The hospital has to say, how much you weigh? What color was he? Did he have 5 fingers? Yes. Why? Because you are considered a maritime admiralty product, because she was in labor building you after your.
Wow. Did you hear that?
That said so much right there. It's like as soon as he said that, I knew where he was going with it. I'm like, we're a product. We are a product that we don't even own ourselves. From the time we're born, we have 0 rights to ourselves.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Whew. Wow. Let's keep going. I'm in it now. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go.
Peel that onion back.
Y'all need to spark up your CBD.
Manufactured. So once you begin to see how the commercial world works, you are nothing more than a product, a maritime admiralty product, to be bought and sold, and therefore you have to have a birth certificate. Now, if you're taking one of those cars or TVs off of the ship and it drops down accidentally and breaks, you just lost money. You can't sell that one and make any money off of it. That's okay. Things like that happen. Okay. Then there's no problem with that in commerce. If you break something, it's no problem. We take that off of our taxes. There's a loss. But you have to have a death certificate And it's got to be signed by the doc. Why? Because that's what the damn thing fell and broke, was at the doc. So the doc has to sign your birth certificate. And if you die there, then he has to sign your death certificate. And we better make sure that the doctor is not lying about the death certificate. Because if you're lying about the death certificate, that's prison time for a doctor.
That's why it has to be confirmed by coroner before they can rule out a death.
So even if you die in a hospital, they still have to call the coroner?
It has to be called. It has to be called by somebody. And the timestamp. That is why.
Wow.
Let's go.
You don't want to lie. Did this person, was he born dead? Yes. Prove it. Sign the paper and put your life on the line as a doctor and tell me that this person died at birth. And if we find out you're lying, because now he doesn't have to pay taxes, he doesn't have to be under government control, he's totally free because we don't know anything about him, and we find out you're lying, that's a felony for doctors. You go to jail for that. So therefore, doctors will have to sign your birth certificate. They have to sign your death certificate. Why? Because you are a maritime admiralty product. Your mother created you. After you were manufactured, you were created, and she was in her labor. She was in labor in the delivery room because she was delivering you as a product. And that's why in your birth certificate on the bottom, on the right-hand bottom of the birth certificate, where your mother or father signed, look at it. Look on the birth certificate. It doesn't say mother or father. It doesn't say parent. Where your mother and father signed, it says informant. Your mother and father was informing the corporation that the new television has just arrived in America, or a new car, a new automobile has just arrived that you didn't know about. So it's called an informant. Now, on the left side of your birth certificate, on the very bottom, you will see in small print, the birth certificate is the property of the United States Commerce Department, Department of Commerce. Why? It's because your birth certificate is a commercial document. It's on actual banking paper. It's on banking paper. It's considered a stock, just like a stock certificate.
Pause. Whoa. Did you just hear that?
So that means, it's not even funny. It's really not even funny. So that means we are literally from birth nothing but a product and part of stock, which is why you can see if you go to a certain website how they trade on your social security number.
Right. Exactly.
Wow. That's something. Like, you bamboozled, like, for real. Like, wakey, wakey, y'all. Wakey, wakey. Let's get it.
Let's go.
So once you understand that you are, that's why if you say, if your son's getting married or your daughter's getting married and she's marrying a very wealthy, marrying into an extremely wealthy family, we say, well, her fiance she's marrying, he's of good stock. What do you mean? She's marrying a pig or marrying a horse? No, because all humans are considered stock. That's why if you're going to, it's an incredible story about how we are maritime admiralty stock. We are like a stockyard. That's why all, when we were growing up as kids in America, all houses and homes always had a yard, a front yard and a backyard. That's for your children to play in because it was a stockyard. And we still have stockyards today. That's why you're creating a product for the commercial world that we live in. And so to protect the product, you give them a backyard to play in. So it's called a stockyard.
So as soon as we're born, we are signed over to the United States or whatever country we live in.
That's right.
To our government.
That's right. And they own your body.
Are we signed over to the government or the country?
Well, the government is the country. The government.
So the United States of America, let's say?
No, not to the United States of America. No, you're signed over. When you're born here in this country, you're signed over to the United States, not the United States of America. There's a world of difference between the sun and the moon, between wet.
What What you say? It's a difference between United States and America. Let's go.
And dry, between up and down.
Right.
Opposites. Well, there's a big difference between United States or United States of America. Doesn't mean the same thing at all. United States of America is one thing. United States is totally different than the United States of America. That's the point that most people don't know anything about. So when you use the term United States, you're not talking about the United States of America, the 50 collective 50 states in the federal union. United States is not the 50 states. United States is a totally different entity completely.
No.
United States of America was founded in 1776 as a constitutional republic, but that was done away with in 1871. We're no longer living in the United States of America. As of 1871, we are now living in something called the United States. This is why once a year, United States is considered not a country. United States of America is a country. It's a confederation of states, which we call the federal enclave, the federal states, the federal republic. But United States by itself is a company, is a corporation, incorporated in 1871. A group of men got together after the Civil War and incorporated a company.
In Delaware.
Anyone can form a corporation. Anybody.
So we could have done it.
You can form a corporation. But if you form a corporation, then you are now under corporate law. You can't do certain things you could do as an individual. Now you're a corporation.
Wow.
But of course, you get certain perks as a corporation too. So there's some good and there's some bad. There's some up and there's some down. Now certain things you can do now as a corporation you couldn't do as by yourself. So corporation is a business. Well, anybody can form a corporation, but if you form a corporation, as I said, you're under corporate law, which means the first thing right off the bat is that you have to have, according to corporate law, a president of the corporation. You also have to have, according to the law, a vice president of the corporation. And you also...
Wait a minute. That's why we have presidents and vice presidents?
Because we're a corporation. We are a business. We are a business and a product. What we live in is a business. What we are is the product of the business. Unknowingly. We were born into something that we are basically, we're a product. We're born into a product of this corporation at birth. So basically, we've been slaves since birth. That's what I'm getting.
Let's go.
With nowhere else.
have to have a secretary treasurer. At least those three things you have to have if you're going to have a corporation. So today we have a president, we have a vice president, we have a secretary treasurer of a corporation, a privately owned company, a corporation. And the corporation was incorporated in Delaware in 1871. It's a privately owned company, 1871 corporation incorporated called United States Corporation. Has nothing to do whatsoever with the United States of America, founded in 1776. No, nothing.
Let that sink in for a minute. Whew. Wow.
It's so crazy how when you say the United States, remember United States, you're not even talking about the country you live in. You're talking about the corporation in which you were born in. Oh, yep. Wow. That's crazy.
And it wasn't like 1776. It was not that way.
Crazy.
I wondered that what Trump mean by he said make America great again. Taking
America.
1770.
Not the United States, but America. Bring America back to being America. The United States of America.
United States. America.
Wow. And you go to 1776, 17. There it is.
There it is. Let's go.
Nothing to do with that at all. Privately owned corporation called United States Corporation, incorporated in 1871. It is now considered to be a corporation. Okay. Now, the point being is that according to the corporate law, anyone who would work for that corporation would be referred to as a citizen of that corporation. So today, if you walk into any business in America and you say, and they ask you in the bank or ask you if you're applying for a job or anything, they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? And you say, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. You think what they're asking you, and a good attorney, a federal attorney, would tell you in court, I'm going to ask you a question. But before you answer, think about what I'm going to ask you. The judge is listening, the court's listening, and this is all on oath. I'm going to ask you a question. Be careful what you answer, the way you answer. Are you, of your own volition, out of your own mouth, testifying that you are a U.S. citizen? Now, don't answer until you think about it, because whatever you say, you can go to prison. So are you a U.S. citizen? And you say, well, what he's asking me is, am I lawful and legal to be in America? Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. Good. Now you're going to jail because you no longer have any rights or protections under law, because a U.S. citizen is an employee of a privately owned company.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
That's crazy.
I think a man asked Dodge that one day at the pool. Wow. Claiming to be a citizen. It strips
So
all
you
right.
when you say to get a job, a passport, are you a citizen of the United States? You're thinking, yes, I was born here. Yes, I'm legally able to be here. Yes, yeah. But that's not the case.
We're citizens of the corporation.
You're not an alien. They're not. I mean, if they said, "Are you an alien?" Well, no, I'm not an alien. Are you a citizen? No, I'm not a citizen either. I don't. What? Oh wow, that which makes so much sense. Like why people that aren't from here that don't have their citizenship can do so much more than those that are employed by
Right.
the corporation.
Absolutely.
So
There
what
you
he's
go,
saying is
right there.
not only are we employed by them, but we're employed by them, but yet we are the product.
Yep.
Oh,
And
wait,
that's
hold.
and that's why foreigners can come here and have rights that we don't have, because we are citizens. Whoa.
We're the product and the workers.
Whoa.
Man.
Unknowingly.
Ooh, child. That's a lot.
Let's
That's
go.
a lot.
We definitely gonna do a part 2 tomorrow. For real, for real. Let's go.
You have no jurisdiction. There's no jurisdiction to protect you under the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. That's an American, not a U.S. citizen. So therefore, there's a world of difference between a United States citizen and an American United States of America. Because the United States of America, there was no U.S. citizenship. There was state citizenships. You were a citizen of the state in which you were living. That's why today, in 1871, after the Civil War, there was a privately owned company established called United States Corporation. And in that, they stipulated that anyone who would work for that corporation that was founded as a company, corporation, would be called a citizen. So today, if someone says, are you a U.S. citizen? And you say yes, what that means is that you have testified with your own, out of your own mouth, that you are an employee of a foreign corporation, because it's foreign to any state, because the United States Corporation is not in any one of the states. So it's a foreign corporation. It's a place called Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C. is not one of the states of America. So therefore, it's a foreign corporation. It's in a particular area called District of Columbia. District of Columbia is not a state. District of Columbia is an all as 10 miles square where the corporation operates from. But it's not in Maryland, it's not in Virginia, it's not in New York. It's a whole area that has its own flag, its own laws, its own jurisdiction, has nothing to do with the 50 states of the Union.
And people don't realize that. They don't even have their own congressional seat. They don't have their own senatorial seat. It's its own little entity.
Well, I got a lot of questions.
Wow.
I got a lot of questions too. I mean,
Wow.
I mean, mind blown for real, because you don't even realize, like, okay, let's can I get political real quick? We want to talk about Trump. People are so mad at the fact that he's in office, but if anybody was following him back when he got his first presidency and what he was trying to do, you know, sometimes, like, I wasn't happy. I didn't want Trump back then either. I didn't like Trump. I was like, hell no, but I didn't want Hillary either. But then I told myself, well, let's figure out what this dude is actually doing. Let's get a heads up on what he's actually all about. Because you can dislike something, like dislike something that somebody does, but and never know what it really is that you really dislike about him besides what other people say. So I decided to say, okay, let me do some research on this man. Let me follow what he's doing. Let me see what he's all about. And I traveled that rabbit hole. Once I discovered what he was about and listened to different people of different colors from different places, you know, black people, white people, old people, young people, and got to know what his mission was, I no longer dislike the man for what he's trying to do. And this really makes a lot of sense when he speaks on making America great again, the MAGA, bringing us back to the Republic, 1776.
Exactly.
Where we go one, we go all. Like, wow. It makes sense. It makes so much sense now. Like, what he's trying to do, like when they say, "Oh, New World Order, they're gonna crash the banking system." There's a purpose. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, and it's once you realize that, it's hard to explain to people like why that reasoning is. But this right here smacks you right in your face. Like, I mean, I already knew how it was going to be, what it was, because I did my research. But listening to this and this man, this Jordan Maxwell, he really puts it in your face where you can't see nothing but what it is.
Exactly.
And that's powerful right there now.
Wow.
That's powerful. People need to take heed to this and stop worrying about the wrong things. Stop worrying about the wrong. Look into what you dislike. Really look into what you dislike, and don't get the first thing you see like, oh no, that's why I don't like them. Figure out why they're doing that or what the purpose is behind that. Do more research on the fact that they may, you know, stop abortions and they want a federal stop of abortions or certain medicines for whatever reason. Maybe those medicines are causing cancer. Maybe they're trying to attack big pharma, or maybe the stopping of abortions is because they're harvesting organs or selling off these unborn children. There may be a reason behind why this is happening. So instead of getting personal and in your feelings, look beyond that and find out, but what is the reason? Not just because you just want to. No, it's bigger than that. People have to understand things are bigger than themselves. And people don't do that. They always want to look at self and be like, they're the biggest, powerful thing there. No, it's bigger than you. It's beyond you. You have to look beyond you. Look beyond self and see what's really going on. And then you may have a better understanding.
Exactly. I'll just bring it back up, honey, because YouTube be tripping. Let's go. Oh boy, this is a lot.
First of all, who was the first president of the United States Corporation?
Oh, well, yeah.
Google May 1871 president.
So the point being is that today, if you say that you are a U.S. citizen, what you are saying in law, in any courtroom, what you're saying is that you are an employee of a foreign corporation. Foreign corporations are perfectly fine in any state. You know, all kinds of countries have corporations in America. And California, we're filled with corporations from all over the world. Corporations from automobile companies. Japan has corporations here. Africa has corporations. It's all right. That's fine. Just business. As long as you remember that California's boss and you pay up front. and you have to tell California how much your corporation's buying and selling, and you have to pay taxes from your corporation. But as long as you're doing the business of the corporation, you can operate anywhere. As long as you pay your dues, as long as you pay your taxes. The corporation called United States is operating in a place called Washington, D.C., which is not a part of America. It has its own flag, the Washington, D.C. flag, which has its own jurisdiction, its own police department. It has nothing to do with the 50 states of the Union at all. So what it amounts to is, if you want to try and understand it this way, if you have a building, if you have a, what do they call them, condos, if you have a condominium building with condos and there's 50 condos in the building or 51 units in the building, well, 50 of those units are sold to individuals. All right, the people who buy those 50 condos, they own their condo. They are not renting, they own it. Therefore, you have no jurisdiction over that condo. They own that condo. Therefore, the condo unit, all 50 people agree that somebody needs to be responsible for running this 50 unit building. Somebody's.
Well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was typing in the chat. I'm just saying, cause I want to be fired or I want to quit. I don't want to work here no more. I don't want to work here no more. I don't like this job. I need a different one. I don't even know who my boss is. I ain't never met my boss a day in my life, and I can't work for somebody I ain't never met. We ain't never had an understanding. You know, he don't know me, I don't know him, or they don't know me, I don't know them. I can't work for some place like that. I don't because they're doing too much undercover boss here in the United States. I'm good. I want to quit.
Exactly.
You got a little bit of an echo. You know that?
When I say it,
even when you talk, you got a little bit of an echo. But when you played it, it was echoing. Like you could hear yourself in the background a little bit, and it had the echo too. I just want to let you know. But I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on mute so we can listen to this. Well, I think we lost the host. That's okay. I can hold it down. My mind is really blown, and I'm feeling again, just like my whole entire life. Like I've been bamboozled. Like I just feel like every single aspect of what I have known about life has been a lie. Every single aspect, like you know, where I come from, where my origin is from, to religion, to I mean, all the way down to Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny. It's just a lie. It's all a lie, and it's all a facade, and it's all a game. And my heart's broken. Like I'm just like, no, no.
Can you hear me now? Am I still echoing?
Yes, I got you. A little bit.
Okay,
but it's okay. Maybe you're too close to the mic or something. I'm not sure, but I'm just letting you know. It's like a little bit of echo, but it's not too bad. It's not like you can't hear the content or nothing. It's just, you know.
I'm gonna go on mute while I play it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Got to make sure the trash gets taken out, the pool gets clean, to clean the yards, and if there's any breakdown or any problem with plumbing, somebody's got to be responsible in this building for the building. So we will all pay a little bit of money every month. Every condo pays a little bit, and we will appoint somebody to be in charge of maintenance for the building. And he's responsible to make sure that the trash is picked up, the pool is cleaned up, and if there's any problem with the electrical or plumbing or anything, he's responsible. And we all pay him, and he's responsible to make sure everything works right. So therefore, that would be Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is like a separate entity. It has nothing to do with all the condos. That's their business. They own it.
He's the property manager.
He's just property manager. That's all he's doing. And therefore, he's paid by them to work for them. Well, what it turns out to be, after a while, the guy who is the property manager, who's being paid by those 50 different condo owners, he begins to think of himself not as a property manager. He's God. He could do anything. He's in charge of the building. He's in charge of the pool. He's in charge of trash. That means he's actually God. He's in charge of everything. So now he can go in and walk into your condo anytime he wants because he's in charge. And he can tell you what color you can paint your walls. He can tell you how many people you can have over as guests. He can tell you anything he wants because he is God. He's been elected, and he's the boss of all bosses. Well, that's what's happened. Today, Washington, D.C. thinks it's God. It's based on the old Roman idea of the concept of Caesar being Augustus or Tiberius Caesar is God. And therefore, the Washington, D.C., as I said, before the country was founded, was called Rome. And the Capitol building is identically based off of the Vatican Domus. And so what we've got now is the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire, go back into history and look and ask the question in history. Go back to the reference books on the Roman Empire and find out, where did Caesar rule Rome from? Caesar was emperor of Rome, and Rome dominated all of Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe. Caesar dominated Rome, and Rome dominated Europe. And so, therefore, where did Caesar rule Rome from? He ruled Rome from, Rome is called the city of seven hills. And he ruled Rome from something called Capitoline Hill, which was actually Capitol Hill. That's in Roman history.
What?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
My goodness.
It's a carbon copy.
My goodness.
You got a bad echo right now. Yeah, it's a carbon copy.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Capitol Hill. Wow.
There's such a, they playing in our face. They playing in our face. They playing in our face. But you know, and they say the laws of the universal law, they have to tell you, they have to show you. They've been doing that, obviously. But we're too stupid to really know what we're talking about. Oh, look what they did. They did an insurrection on the Capitol. What are you talking? That's not the real Capitol. The real Capitol is obviously in Rome. I mean it is the capital. Let's not get it twisted. It is absolutely the capital. But what that means is not what it means for America. People have to understand that. Which is why I feel like, even though they say, Donald Trump's got sentencing, I really don't think it's going to stick, because he didn't create an insurrection on the capital of the United States of America. He didn't create an insurrection anywhere. But what happened when the people did that, they did that they basically trespassed on property and damaged property from a corporation.
On foreign soil.
From a corporation. Which is why the people are still sitting in jail and have not been tried, and it's been 4 years.
Exactly why them shaman was doing what they was doing.
Yep. And that's why they haven't been tried. It's been 4 years because they don't have to. It's like sitting in Gitmo. They can sit there forever. What? Wow. They playing on the top for real. What?
Wow. Let's go.
So Caesar ruled the empire from Capitol Hill. And it was said in history books that where Caesar each morning, quote, the reference book says, quote, he would go up on the hill, end quote, to officiate as Caesar before the Roman Senate. So therefore, Rome had a Senate. Where? Up on the hill. What hill? Capitol Hill.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar? And so today we still have Caesar, who believes himself to be God, incarnated Jehovah. He is absolute God over the entire Roman Empire.
So
all people must come and bow down to Caesar. Bow down and sprinkle incense on the altar of Caesar, because he represents Jehovah God. He represents the almighty God of the universe. He is the emperor of the world. I'm just saying that today, the president of the United States is considered to be the emperor of the universe. All people should bow down and sing praises to him and sing and beat themselves with sackcloth and ashes and be aware that he represents God. He is the absolute authority over everything. So all of this nonsense about America being the land of the free and the home of the brave, that went out in 1871. It's gone. From here on out, you're under the Roman dictatorship.
And are they blaming Trump for that? Did they hear what's going on here? It's already here. We've been living this. We've been living this. What people are fearing since 1876
already.
Oh my gosh! Oh, wakey, baby! Come on, let's go!
Oh my goodness!
Let's go! Jeez.
Oh my goodness!
Oh boy! You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Gotta laugh to keep from crying. Cause listen,
this is something people really need to know. Oh my goodness!
Phew, baby.
Oh, let's go. It's a lot.
Out of Vatican, Rome, and that's why today, when the Pope comes here to America, you see George Bush running out and kissing the ring. All the politicians, left and right wing politicians, communists, Nazis, fascists, doesn't matter who they are, they all ran out and kissed the Pope's ring, because America is the new Rome.
I just looked it up, and Ulysses S. Grant was president in 1871.
Oh, there you go. So what is going on here today is not against the Constitution. It's not against the Declaration of Independence. It's not against the law. If you go to work at Sears or General Motors or any corporation, they tell you when you can go to work. You show up here at 7 o'clock, not 7:10, 7 o'clock. You take a break at 10 o'clock. You take another break at 3. And you're not asking questions. We're telling you. And here's what you're going to do. Here's the job you're going to be assigned to. Now, do you want the job or don't you? If you don't like it, that's all right. Hit the street. We'll get somebody who does want it. So the point being is that what General Motors is doing to you, telling you when you can come in, when you can go home, when you can take a break, you ask permission. If you want to go to the bathroom, if you want to take a break, you ask permission. You don't just get up and walk off the job. So the point being is that they own you for that 8 hours or 9 hours you're at work. They own you. You live by their rules. As long as you're inside that corporation working, they're the boss, not you. So, therefore, if you say you're a U.S. citizen, you are, in fact, an employee of a foreign corporation that was in Washington, D.C., and therefore, it is not unlawful what they're doing. It's not illegal what they're doing. You are an employee. It's a very clever manipulation.
That's crazy.
I can't take it. Oh,
okay. So wait a minute. You know that if you run, I don't want you to run it back because it's a little bit back a little bit. But you know, I always wondered why we were so into the Pope and the Queen. Nobody ever really explained it, but now it makes sense because this is when religion was also created and divided too, because it all stemmed from Catholicism. Which they have all the secrets, they have all the gold, they have it all, which is why that makes sense now. Mm-hmm. It all makes sense now. Because they are actually the queen. That's why, Queen Elizabeth. I always say she ain't my queen. I ain't from England, but she absolutely is because I'm employed to this corporation.
Yep.
Lord. You learn something new every day. Let's go.
Let's go.
Phew.
Of an exploitation and a manipulation of a circumstance that happened because of the Civil War. After the Civil War, here's what I am told by people who know. I am not an authority on this subject. I have said over and over, I'm not an authority on any subject. What I bring to the table is the fact that I've been in the company of extraordinarily brilliant people for the last 40 years or 45 years of my life. I've been in the company of incredibly intelligent people doing extraordinarily brilliant things. And I've listened to the teachers. I've listened to Jesuit scholars, to politicians, to statesmen, to royalty of Europe. I've been in the company of impressive people and just listening. I'm not the authority on anything. I'm just telling you what I've heard from experts. When you understand that there's a world of difference between the United States of America that was founded in 1776 as a republic, as opposed to after the republic was destroyed, there was a civil war where one half of this country was killing the other half. Well, you got to understand, if you found out that Sears had a riot.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt that, but I really need to touch on this before I lose it. So in 1776, what this man's saying is 1776 we started out as a republic, correct?
Republic.
That's when the United States of America was founded, correct? Right?
Yeah.
So any person that was there, any persons that were there were considered Republicans, correct?
Right.
Okay, let me follow that back real quick. So, and they also say when it was founded, they're not saying that it was Christopher Columbus that did this. It was our people, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let me go a little bit more. And our people were originally Republicans, especially in the state of Texas, until they created the Democratic Party and used the Ku Klux Klan to hustle more people into being Democrats and taking the blacks away from being in the Republic as part of the Republicans. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
That's exactly what it is.
Baby, stop it. What? They've been playing on our tops since day one. They've been playing on our tops, and when they played on our tops, and once we were played to the fullest, and we have our whole orchestra of being played, then they have to go with the regular people too because they weren't making enough money off of us. So they had to put everybody in the middle of it. Man, them dirty mother. Okay. Okay. Wow. Let's go, Trump. Let's get it. Maybe now we'll get our 40 acres and a mule.
Let me play it, but I'll hold it down for a minute.
What?
In Sears, and one half the employees kill the other half. That's very serious. That's bloodshed. So you got to realize Sears is never going to be the same again. There ain't never going to be the same Sears we all knew and loved. It's gone. Because after that kind of a riotous bloodshed, the whole thing is going to have to be changed. We got a whole new system of operation now because the old system, the old company is gone. We got a whole new system. Why? Because the people were killing people. So the original United States of America is gone. It's over. Therefore, to say that you go into court and you say, well, I have certain protections. I have the Bill of Rights and I have the Constitution. There is no such a thing as a United States Constitution for a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizen means employee of a privately owned company established in 1871, okay? Employee of a privately owned company established 1871. Therefore, you are not an American national. You are a U.S. citizen. And when you go to the post office to get the paperwork for a passport, there are two papers that you can fill out. One is white and one's green. And on the green one, I am told by attorneys that on the green one they've showed me that it says if you are applying for a passport but you don't want to continue to be a member of the corporation. You want to separate yourself from the United States Corporation, incorporated in 1871, then you need to sign this green paper, and then you will get a passport for an American national, not a U.S. citizen.
Wait a
That's
minute.
how I quit my job. That's how I quit my job. Run that back. Can you slide that back a little bit? And can we talk about that one more time? Can we just talk about that one more time? Just run that back real quick, because that's how I can quit this job. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go get me a passport and get that little green paper. Let me get the green paper.
Let's go.
National, you are a U.S. citizen. And when you go to the post office to get the paperwork for a passport, there are two papers that you can fill out. One is white and one's green. And on the green one, I am told by attorneys that on the green one they've showed me that it says if you are applying for a passport, but you don't want to continue to be a member of the corporation, you want to separate yourself from the United States Corporation, incorporated in 1871, then you need to sign this green paper, and then you will get a passport for an American national, not a U.S. citizen.
And I've seen the passports. There's a blue, which most people carry, which is the U.S. citizen. And then there's the American passport, which is green. And that's actually a lot of diplomats carry the green passport.
That's right. Because there's a world of difference between being a U.S. citizen and being an American national. American national, as a matter of fact, my friend Joe is a brilliant mind, government and law. Is an extraordinarily brilliant guy. But he was showing me letters where he was dealing with the Internal Revenue, and he showed me the letters where the Internal Revenue said, I'm paraphrasing what was in the letters. Basically, they said to him, the Internal Revenue said to Joe, if you're going to deal with the corporation called United States Corporation, then you deal directly with us, the Internal Revenue and the Federal Reserve. But if you're going to deal with the state of California as a California state citizen, then you're dealing with the Republic, which is founded in 1776, which has nothing to do with us at all. So,
Okay. Nothing to do with them at all. A national. Instead of being a citizen. Because we're a citizen, that's why we have to deal with the IRS. Whoa. Let's go.
if that's what you're doing as a state citizen, you are talking to us about taxes, you're talking to the wrong people. We don't have any jurisdiction over you. You need to talk to the government of the United States of America, which is in Philadelphia. Here's their phone number, here's their address, and here's where the United States of America's government actually is, in Philadelphia. But if you
No. Philadelphia. That's where, okay. Let's go.
want to deal with us as a privately owned corporation called United States, now we are in Washington, D.C. It's called the Internal Revenue. Internal Revenue, why? Because the corporation is like General Motors, and anyone who works at General Motors, Ford Motor Company, or any big corporation, anybody working inside that corporation is internal. So General Motors does not have anything to do with people outside who work for Baskin-Robbins. They don't have any control over anybody except in their General Motors. They have control over. Therefore, the corporation called United States only has jurisdiction over those people who are their employees. So that's why they have an internal revenue service. Not external for everybody. No, not everybody. Just those people who work for the corporation are come under internal revenue.
Which in this case is almost everybody.
Just about everybody. Internal revenue, which means just about everybody is a member of a corporation.
That's right.
And therefore, the corporation is perfectly right in telling you what you can do and what you can't do. And they said you can't have a house without coming to me and asking permission. Don't you see there's a difference between the Statue of Liberty? You see in New York, the thing called Statue of Liberty? What do you think that means, son? You better go back to school. That's not the Statue of Freedom for America. That was given to the corporation, United States Corporation. It was given to the corporation. It's called the Statue of Liberty, not the Statue of Freedom. Statue of Liberty. The word liberty in a law book means you ask permission.
Wow.
It's like when you say, I'm not at liberty to do so, it's like I don't have permission to do so. That's crazy.
Wow.
Whew. Man. The things people don't know and the things they need to know. Because everybody really upset over this election. They're upset over the wrong things. They really need to start digging down rabbit holes and looking into other things. Because I don't think they'd be so upset anymore.
Really?
Let's go.
Whew. Now we're done part one. Whew. That's a lot. Whew, that was a lot.
If you want to take the car and borrow my car, you ask permission. You don't have liberty to just walk in and take somebody's property. You ask permission. And if I say no, that means you can't borrow. So therefore, you ask permission. Then if I say yes, I'm giving you liberty. Liberty is what a sailor gets when he comes in off the ship at sea. He comes into a harbor. He asks permission of the captain to let him go for 2 days and have drinking and partying, right? If the captain says no, then you're not going anywhere. Why? Because the captain is the boss. And if he says no, you go nowhere. Why? Simple. When you're in the Navy, you are his property. You do not have freedom. You get liberty. You ask permission, and if your father says so, you can go. And when he tells you to be back at 10 o'clock, he didn't say 10:30. You show up 10 minutes late and you're in the brig. You're going to jail. Because the old man said 10 o'clock and you showed up at 10:30 drinking, you're going to jail. Because he gave you liberty up to 10 o'clock. He didn't give you liberty to 10:30.
He didn't give you freedom.
He didn't give you freedom. He gave you liberty. You asked permission.
Wow. Just like
Land of the free, home of the brave might be a... What? It's all a lie. The land of the free and home of the brave. We are not free. I've always known we weren't free because we have too many restrictions to be free, but this really tells it.
Wow, that's why you feel so funny when you have to ask to use the bathroom at work. I mean, oh my goodness. This is mind-boggling. Just finish it. Part one.
That's what the statue is called, the Statue of Liberty, meaning you ask the corporation. You have to have a permit. You got to have a license. You got to ask permission. You have to have this and that. You can't just go out and build a house without permission.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, well, that's under the United States of America. But you see, they changed the word state, they changed the word liberty, they changed the word freedom, they've changed everything under the new administration in 1871.
Well, the question I have for you, and maybe we can close in this for another subject, is U.S. citizens, can they become American citizens?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And I just looked it up. The Statue of Liberty was given to America in 1886. 5 years before they decided to start this corporation.
Wow.
Interesting. So one more question. The United States was a privately held company.
Yeah.
Still is.
Is it still?
Still is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, still is a privately owned company. Not the United States of America. Not the 50 states collectively. The 50 states collectively, that's the republic. The United States of America Republic. Has
which was
nothing to do with that at all.
1776. No,
they're still in the republic.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 Drea.
That's a lot. It's mind blowing right there.
That's a
Ooh.
lot. I hope I'm doing.
Let that sink in. I mean, people really need to. I hope people are really like, sharing, and subscribing because this is some tea that you don't want to miss. You don't want this tea to go cold. This is that wake up tea.
Peeling back that onion. Please do a playback here. And we're gonna might do a replay of this one again tomorrow or Thursday when I'm off. But we definitely gonna do part 2 by the weekend. Rewind this and play it. Stop it, let it sink in, and keep playing it. It's a lot of information, and it make a lot of sense. Whoa. I'm just blown.
That's a lot. It's a lot. Makes me feel some type of way though. Like I always felt like something wasn't right. I said something ain't right. I mean, I'm the type of person to ask questions, wonder why certain people get away with certain things, and wonder why is that like that? You know, and now it's like it's in my face. Like it all the dots have been connected now, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
Now my next mission is I need to get that green paper and go to Philadelphia because I'm done with this job. I'm done with this. This is not what I want to do.
Postal judge talking about that.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it. I want to be an American national, and I do not want to be a citizen. I do not want to do that. Absolutely not. Nope. Oh, that's whew, man.
That's a lot. I need to find the words there for you.
I do. Let that sink in, folks. Like, let that sink in. Like, really stop and think about it. Like, put all egotistical, non-educated thoughts aside and just let this sink in and think about what you really have lived since birth. Go back and remember what a birth is. You know, I found videos on this man where he's actually talking about, like, it might be in part 2, currency and what currency really is.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about the words and you think about if it's ruled by water, currency. I'm just gonna stop there. Oh, and banks. I'm gonna stop there. That's all I'm gonna say. Think about things.
Yep.
Think about things. You know, that's all I'm saying is think outside the box. Everybody say, oh, there's 2 sides to a coin. No, there's 3. And realize you need to see the 3 sides. See the 3 sides. Don't just look at the surface because there's more than meets the eye. So they saw Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, like, come on. Everything that we see is a gem and is an Easter egg in what we're living in. And people just let it fall by the wayside and just get so caught up in what they think they know. And they need to stop doing it. Stop doing it. Because now you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. You made yourself part of the problem. And that's a problem in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be your family member. It could be your spouse. It could be your own parent. But you have to make a decision because everybody can't go.
That's right.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's what's heartbreaking because, like, how do you get through to people to get them to understand what are you really mad about? You don't even really know. Because if you really knew, you wouldn't be mad. Unless that's just the type of person you are. You want to live like the Handmaid's Tale. You want to be sold to China and to become a communist country where you really are told what to do. Where you're really, you really can't, have any kind of rights at all. Punishments are way more strict and severe. Mm-hmm. Labor costs are way lower. Child labor is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you really need to be careful what you wish for and who you wish for without doing your extensive research. Because when you're talking politics, that's what runs this corporation, and everybody that's employed with the corporation's lives. So while people are getting mad about the things they don't know, you need to understand that it affects everybody, not just you, that's employed in this corporation's lives. So why don't you just sit back, pay attention, and figure out what you're really mad about before you get mad. Just educate yourself. That's all I say. That's all I got to say. I'm done after that. Really, I'm done. Those are my last words. Take heed with it if you want to. Do what you want with it. But those are my words.
All right. Until next time, Drea.
Yes, ma'am.
Salute.
Salute.
My. I tell you, we peel back the onion over here in this portal. Hope you catch the playback, because it get deep. Welcome to the portal. We peel back the onion. Let that sink in. Wakey, wakey.
I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone. Too much losing. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. Decent lessons manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. And we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, decent manifest with, decent manifest with, if your manifest with, it would be well earned. And we decent manifest with, decent manifest with, has do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, no, no. My body keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, like till the break of dawn. I go on, no, no. My body keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no, no, no. Like 1, 2, 3, the world keeps turning. Oh, what a day! What a day! What a day! I think I need a cup of tea. The world keeps burning. Oh, what a day! What a day! What a day! You rush into destruction 'cause you don't have nothing left. The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gon' get left. And we the lessons manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. And we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same.